be listing some things that make the United States a dystopia. Um, just the mere fact that, well, I'll say this, like when you're a child, a baby, it like literally it really depends on where you are born in this country and what family you're born into. So yes, it is a dystopia. That by essence, I'm telling you, I am telling you that is a dystopia. Nobody in this country, on paper, that's what it sounds like. In the Constitution, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like we're all born and we all have an equal opportunity. Like everyone's born rich, everyone has rights. Because technically, if you have on paper, I'm just saying it looks good. It looks good. My friend, my close friend who has a political science major, she's mentioned that so many times. Even when we were teenagers, she would mention stuff like that, and it's making sense to me. Like she's mentioned about how certain things just look good on paper, but in reality, it's a completely different story. The Constitution makes the United States look like it's just this fabulous fucking place where everyone has rights. Because when you study these things, in essence, the United States, if everyone obeyed the law, if things were great, if politicians were good, if people did their duty, people were altruistic, people were kind, people cared just by nature, this country would be a utopia. It would be a utopia, but that is not the case. That is not the case. It really depends on who you're born with, like what family you're born into. If you're born into a really well off, wealthy, rich family that has good political connections, good reputations, like it doesn't matter. And truly at the end of the day, when you look at those people, like for example, like I'd say the Hiltons, I wouldn't necessarily say that the Hiltons have a good reputation. Like they literally promote just cantankerous nonsense. Cantankerous fucking nonsense. Cantankerous nonsense. Like imagine being born. Like really, that is a great example as to how this is a dystopia. Imagine being born as Paris Hilton, or imagine being born like as fucking as me. Like I mean, just like look like I like you have like fucking undocumented in Puerto Rico, despite Puerto Rico being a fucking part of the United States. My neighborhood that I grew up in, like you can't even fucking look, like I've typed it in and a completely like different neighborhood comes up. Um I mean it does have an official name. It's called like Roosevelt something. I don't even know it because people don't refer it to that. People don't refer the neighborhood as that. They refer to it as La Loma in that fucking place. So, I mean, you look it up and it's like there's no culture. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, nobody like fucking cares. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, it has to do like the whole, I'm just saying, like, nobody cares. I'm just saying the United States is a fucking country that's a dystopia because so many people just do not care. I mean, okay, just look. This is a public place, and look at the street. Look at the street. It's nasty. It's fucking nasty. That's an example of a utopia. Not a utopia, a dystopia. A nasty fucking street. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? Um, I'm just saying, like that is an example. Like you're born into a certain family. You're either born rich, or you're born into like an upper middle class family. But middle class and below, it's just nonsense. Like you're being consistently manipulated. They don't care. Like these people, like it's like a fucking, it's a capitalistic hellhole where it's just like buy. By the time like I'm just saying, by the time you reach a certain age, like you start getting more educated and you realize, damn, like I'm really being taken advantage of. Like these people do not care. These people selling stuff to me. This is another example of how it's a dystopia. It's a fucking capitalistic hellhole. Like it's not a capitalistic heaven, because truly at the end of the day, if people engage in fairness, it would be a capitalistic heaven. It would, because like I said before, in paper, all of this sounds nice. You read up on capitalism, yeah, it sounds nice. Like, and like I mentioned before, when people obey the law collectively, and I'm just telling you, like it's so obvious that since I was fucking born that people just haven't been fucking doing that. Because I can just look at the environment. I can go to Puerto Rico. Truly, that's how undocumented my fucking neighborhood is that you can't even go on Google Maps and go on Street View because they didn't even bother to go. Like, do you understand? They didn't even care to go up there and take. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Even though it's a part of the United States, that's completely undocumented. Not completely. I'm just saying, like, it's just like it's treated as if people don't even live there. There are, I'd say, like, maybe 1,000 something people that live in my neighborhood. I don't know, maybe 500, maybe 500. I might be going too far when it comes to 1,000, but I'm saying, like, you look up, like, there are basic neighborhoods here that, like, middle class neighborhoods here that I would call basic because, like, I wouldn't necessarily call them like Beverly Hills, but you'll find them, like, you look them up on Google and there's information on these neighborhoods. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, my neighborhood that I grew up in is just like completely, like, really mostly like undocumented. Really, in Fajardo, Puerto Rico, like, mostly undocumented. I'm just saying, like, it's like this wealth disparity that you can see with your own eyes so clearly. That's dystopia, dude. That's a dystopia, dude. Whenever, like, you're not, like, I'm just saying, like, it's just a fucking dystopia. It's a capitalistic hellhole where like these people, like, for example, Paris Hilton is born into money and she's over here speaking about work ethic. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, what work ethic are you even talking about? And the other fact about it being a dystopia, the fact that so many people here are Christian and support Christianity, but they don't engage in Christian behavior. Well, I mean, technically they do, because Christianity is so much about hypocrisy and lying and drama, and it's not about helping your neighbor or caring about your neighbor. If people cared about caring about your even Islam is supposed to be about caring about your neighbor. It's about caring for each other in peace. So many religions do that, but people, I'm just telling you, capitalism reigns in this country. Capitalism reigns, not religion, not values. It's just about how much money. Like, look, most of these people are moving around because of money. They're not moving around because of, do you understand what I'm talking about? They aren't moving around because of family and love. Like, do you understand altruism? Like, do you understand? Most people are driving around because of money. That's literally it. Like, all of these people, do you see all this shit right here? These people are moving around because of money. Like, do you understand? That's not a humane thing. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because money didn't come before humans. So it's a dystopia. Like, this entire country, the fact that I'm speaking about something that is, I would call literary, I would call something that has to do with intellect, and it does not gain traction on YouTube, makes this country a dystopia. Like, I'm literally having my views manipulated. I'm literally having my fucking views manipulated, or something is happening, that there's oppression where I'm not even getting at least 1,000 views. There are a billion people, 7 billion people on this planet, 350 million US citizens, and I'm only getting, what, 3 views per video? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Another reason it's a dystopia, for example, Paris Hilton sitting there in that video and saying, sorry, Erla. Number one, my name isn't Erla. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? She's over here abusing me out in the open. Like, people get away with abuse here in this country. They get away with abuse. Paris Hilton, I'm just saying, like, it's not an equal field. It's not an equal field. Like, everyone isn't born rich here. Everyone isn't born rich here. Only some people are. That's an example of a dystopia, when your next door neighbor is born rich. And do you understand? Like, it's a difference when you're living in a country, at least, where, some people are born rich, but they extend a hand out and help. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Paris Hilton doesn't do that. She might donate money so other people can do it, but she doesn't actually do it herself. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, you have to analyze what she's doing. Most people don't care to analyze. Most people don't care to analyze. It's a dystopia. It is literally a dystopia. In a utopia, I know a lot of people, that's a problem. Like, a lot of people don't even know what a utopia or a dystopia is. They don't even care, because this is a capitalistic hellhole where people, like, I'm telling you, people are moved by money. They are not moved by intellect. At the end of the day, they're not moved by humanity. They're not moved by altruism. They're not moved by love. They are moved by money. They're moved by things. Like people betray other people for things here. Do you understand what I'm talking about? For things. For things. I'm just saying, how else is this a dystopia? Yeah, like the fact that there are private schools and public schools. Do you understand what I'm talking about? The fact that a child can't choose, like a child can sit there and choose whether they want to be a boy or a girl, but they can't choose whether they want to be homeschooled, whether they want to go to another school, a private school, and then there are no resource. There's resources for bullshit. No, really, at the end of the day, there are resources for bullshit, for a lot of bullshit, for a lot of bullshit. The money that goes into the media and that media machine of nonsense, the media machine of nonsense. Do you understand? But there isn't enough taxpayer money, to like, you know, extend bus routes for children. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? So that they, even children can't even walk around feeling safe. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Children can't even walk around feeling fucking safe. There's like, do you understand what I'm talking about? You can't even walk around. There's a curfew. There's a curfew for all fucking children because there's no safety. There's no fucking safety in this country. It's a dystopia. It's a dystopia. All of these people parked here are parked because of money. At the end of the day, people are either moving for food because nature is calling because of their like, I'm telling you, it's not a utopia, dude. It's not a utopia. It's a dystopia made up of fucking mortal people that just like are like fixated on like, like cheap thrills. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? Like fleeting shit. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, I'm just saying, Paris Hilton is such a great example to represent how this is a fucking dystopia. It's a dystopia because, I mean, do you drive around the United States and think, wow, look at how many mansions all over the place. Everyone lives in a mansion here. Everyone lives in a mansion here. Everyone has a mansion. I mean, truly, at the end of the day, if you don't want a mansion, you don't, like, you can pick where you want to live in the United States. Utopias, this is how utopia operates. A utopia operates where everyone's following the law. Because really, if you read the Constitution, it's designed to make this place a utopia. Really, I'm being serious. Just read the US Constitution. It's designed to make this place a utopia. When everybody follows the law, it's a utopia. But that's not the case. That's never been the case as far as I've been alive. It's never been the case. It has never been the case here. I am so unhappy here. How in a utopia, like, people aren't unhappy. When they are unhappy, it's fake. It's drama. They're engaging in drama because there's just like there's an abundance. There's an abundance of things and there's reassurance. Do you understand what I'm talking about? There's reassurance. Here there's no reassurance. There's a lot of tragedy and hopelessness. Um Lies. Hold on. Lies, fear mongering. Have y'all ever seen the media? The media sits there and lies. And I'm glad Donald Trump did mention that there is a lot of fake news and he's called it out on all news medias, dude. On all fucking news medias. Because the media lies, that's a dystopia. That's called propaganda when people are lying to manipulate public opinion and manipulate, like, they're not like public opinion. Number one, I don't even understand how that exists, but that exists in a dystopia. In a dystopia, public opinion exists. In a utopia, people just stick to facts. Like, people just stick to facts. That's it. People promote the truth. They promote facts. They don't promote drama. Here, people promote drama like fucking crazy. Like fucking crazy. Like, look at this place. This place is drama. Super nails, like, it's drama. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, nails, like, getting your nails done isn't an essential thing. Do you understand what I'm talking about? It's not an essential thing. It's for dramatic purposes. At the end of the day, all you need to do is just cut your nails, and that's it. Do you understand? Just get a nail filer and cut it. You don't need to add bedazzles to your, like, do you understand what I'm talking about? That's drama. That's drama. Women go to these places, get their nails bedazzled and all this shit, get their makeup done and all. Like, do you understand? Makeup, all of that shit is fucking drama. It's drama. It's theatrical. It's not essential. You don't need makeup to survive. Makeup is not a survival tactic. People lie. Like, the more you study theater, the more you realize these people are out here fucking lying. Like, they're like, it's no big deal at all. Like, it's no big deal at all. And they call it fun. And truly, I don't know if it's a Western thing or it's a just a human nature type of thing in general, of people to be theatrical. But I'm just saying, like, I was reading up, like, why isn't my YouTube getting any views? And I was reading up and it was saying, oh yeah, something about people prefer high quality content. And I'm just thinking, what constitutes high quality when we all have inalienable rights? Like, how is my voice like of low quality? I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to understand. That is a dystopia, when you're not getting views because your videos are considered low quality. It just makes no sense, because truly at the end of the day, when you think about it, Paris Hilton is low quality because she never strived for high quality. Do you understand what I'm talking about? She never strived for it. She just has it. She sits there and does absurd shit that's just stupid. Like, she goes to jail and people celebrate her. Do you understand what I'm talking about? That is a dystopia. That's a dystopia. And then it's just drama, and even her sister calls her dramatic, and it's just like, well, okay, thanks for reassuring and that fact that it's a dystopia, because your sister, Paris Hilton, is over here running around doing illegal shit every single fucking day. Every single fucking day. She does not fucking stop. She acts like that's her livelihood. Like, she acts like she's not an heiress. Like, it's her livelihood to be fucking dramatic. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? She acts like, for example, like she's a Hollywood actress that, like, doesn't know, like, she studied drama and that's all she did. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, that's all she did. She studied drama, and that's literally her livelihood. She studied drama. She had no money. That's how she made all her money. She doesn't know any better. Do you understand what I'm talking about? No, she's an heiress. She has millions of dollars just for inheriting it, and she uses that money. Do you understand? That's an example of a dystopia. It's a dystopia. It's just a fucking dystopia. It's a dystopia, and a dystopia, people, like, I am so unhappy. I am so fucking unhappy, and it's not dramatic. I'm unhappy. I'm fucking unhappy because I see shit like this. Like, you see, like, this, like, do you see this person driving by in that fucking, like, do you understand what I'm talking about, dude? Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, these, like, broken down cars, and I'm pretty sure that person doesn't want a broken down car, because truly at the end of the day, who wants that? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Who wants to be poor? Nobody wants to be fucking poor. So obviously it's a fucking dystopia if people don't want to be poor, and yet they're being. Do you understand? It's a difference between wanting to be poor, literally, like, you want to be fucking poor. You want to be poor. That's your fucking main objective, dude. And she just drove up there to go through the dumpster, dude. She's going through the fucking dumpster. I'm not gonna record her, but I'm just saying. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? That's a dystopia, when people are looking through trash, through dirt and trash, because they can't fucking afford something basic. Do you understand? Like, they're struggling. Do you understand? They're picking up scraps. That's a dystopia. That's not a world of abundance. Liars, abusers will sit there and write their op-eds and their fucking, their magazines, and talk about, look how great of a country we live in, where somebody else's trash is somebody else's treasure. It's like, no, that's just nonsense. Looking through trash. Do you understand? And then you have people like Paris Hilton that sit there, and she will ridicule she will humiliate somebody that's poor. She's done that before. She wore that shirt in that party that's been, like, it's like a meme that's been sent around the entire internet, talking about stop being desperate. That's tyranny. That's tyranny. She's getting away with that. And they want, like, she gets away with breaking the law by claiming that she's being dramatic. And it's not drama. It's not drama because she's being serious. She's an abuser. She's serious about tyranny. I'm just saying, it's a dystopia. and she's over here driving in that fucked up fucking car, and I'm just saying, like, you can tell, like, seriously, at the end of the day, like, does she want that? Do you want to be, does anyone want to drive around in a fucked up car? I'm just saying. America, and then the United States loves to always point fingers at other countries and never pull out the mirror. Like, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about like politicians and public figures that are in politics, and they try to make it seem like other countries are far worse. They say, "Oh, look at Cuba. Cubans are blah 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 blah." But at the end of the day, I was talking to this Latina earlier about how a lot of these countries, they have poverty, but they have soul. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, they have soul. Like, they literally have soul. Like, people over there, like, they help each other out. Do you understand? They extend a hand out, even if they're poor. Do you understand? Here it's a fucking all man to his fucking self, all woman to her own fucking self fucking country. If you're lucky, it's a matter of luck. This country is a matter of luck. And I don't want to necessarily, because someone could argue and say it's a mixture of a utopia and a dystopia. It's a mixture of both. And technically, in a sense, you can say it is, because I do have access to information, but there's also a lot of misinformation and disinformation. So that's the thing about a dystopia. In a dystopia, you can't, like, I'm talking about a full dystopia, but at the end of the day, having a mixture of both makes it a dystopia. Do you understand where I'm coming from? That's like saying I'm good, but I'm also evil. It's like, no, no, no. They can't coexist. It's just bad. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you understand? Like, anyone who is aware of the way things work, that's not the way it works. That's like showing up to a courtroom after you killed somebody. You know, you killed a baby for no reason, just because you were bored and sadistic and you wanted to see the baby die. And then you say, but look at all the money I've donated. Look at all the good things I've done. And they're just like, oh, okay, then that's fine. That's how America operates. It's like, look at all the good things. Like, I don't want to say that the general public does that, because obviously they don't, but our representatives, who are not our representatives, they try to make it seem like everything's fucking great here. They try to make it seem like everything's great, but really it isn't. Everything is not fucking great here. It's a fucking problem every single fucking day. Every single fucking day there's a fucking problem here. Everywhere, in every single state, there is no such thing as there just being peace in the United States. That's why I'm saying, like, the US Constitution, yeah, it makes it seem like it's all about the domestic tranquility. It's all about the general welfare, but no, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't. Because if I'm over here suffering consistently, then it isn't. And other people are. I'm just saying, like, it's just abuse and abuse and abuse every single fucking day. Like, I will say that about the education part. Yeah, you can't get educated here, but will it benefit you? Not necessarily, because you can be extremely fucking smart and still have a whole bunch of people deliberately, because it's a dystopia, dude. People don't care if you're smart here. They fucking care about how much, truly, at the end of the day, glitz and glamour. That's what they fucking care about. They care about what you look like first, and that's it, dude. They don't care about your character. Why do you think Paris Hilton is... People sit there, like, look at her comments. People, and I know you're going to be like, I know some of you are going to be like, oh, you're only focusing on Paris Hilton, but she is an epitome of a lot of different fucking people. I'm just using her as an example. Celebrities in fucking general, like I'm just saying, like, this country is, like, literally, like, it's like a fucking, like, festering cesspool of fucking, like, fanatics and public figures, and that's it. Like, it's not like a communion that makes sense. You understand, where everyone is held at the same value until you do something that it's literally fucking sadistic, that you know, like, do you understand what I'm talking about? You know undeniably that it's fucking sadistic. Not like some child shit. Like, do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm talking about adult shit. I'm talking about adults doing sadistic fucking shit, like Paris Hilton has been doing for fucking years. Like, she literally, like, do